In this video, we are going to talk about Linux file system directories. The directory is the file system which makes the Linux operating system. So first of all, we have just the slash or the bar directory. And in this directory, we have all the other main Linux file system directories. So this is like the absolute beginning. If you want to see all the main directories, you just have to navigate to the bar directory. So let's just go there, cd bar and ls. So here you can see all the Linux file system directories are listed inside this main directory. Home directory, it works like your desktop on your Windows, that desktop, the user's personal desktop. Here we can find users' personal files such as his workspace area, his created directories and everything. So if we remember, we already have a user one inside our Linux, and we also created some folders inside user one. So here I'm just going to navigate into user one and see what we got. Other than that, if we have multiple users on your Linux system, all of them are going to appear inside home directory, or there you can say their personal workspace is going to appear inside the home directory. The next one is etc. This is where every type of configuration file lives. So whenever you're going to configure something, especially like network programs and system program which you have installed, the configuration file is always going to be inside the etc directory. So this is like where we are going to be always when we install something or when we want to configure something in our Linux server or Linux system. So let's just take a look. I'm going to navigate inside etc directory. I'm going to list the content, and I can see there are a lot of things which we use on basic days for basic functions. I mean, for example, the DHCP. Let's navigate inside the DHCP and see what it has. Here I found time sync D. So this is a configuration file which basically syncs or synchronizes our time with the accurate time using the network. It keeps our server times accurate and up to date depending on our configurations in our region. Similarly, we can consider the PHP myadmin directory, the file inside etc. And here we have the config file. It's not this one, I think it's the inc one. Yeah, config inc.php. So inside here we have every type of configuration related to PHP, such as let's see, nano config inc PHP. So here we can see we have every type of configuration such as users, passwords, authentication methods, ports, IP addresses, and similarly here we can configure the permissions. If we want to add new rules or new permissions, everything is inside it. So let's just consider the next main file system directory, which is a var directory. Var means a variable, and every type of files which are always growing or changing are inside var directory. Most important one which it includes is the system logs. It also includes logs of other files or other functions or services as well. So let's just try to see the apt logs or apt logs. Here I am inside variable directory, file system directory, and let's go to log. Here you can see I have Apache2 logs, I have apt logs. So let's just look into apt logs. Cat history log. So here are logs of the history of apt command. Every time I used apt commands, it appears here. For what I used it, what time I used it. So I haven't used the command a lot of times because it is a fresh server. So yeah, you can see here the logs are here. So let's just go out of here and try to see maybe another log. Yeah, let's just move to the next file system directory, the lib directory. Here we have the shared libraries required by the system to boot and run the commands. So here we have like various type of snippets which are used by multiple programs which are used to interact with the system, because a lot of your programs or installed softwares, they use the same type of communication structure which they require to talk to the system. So let's just try to see something here. For instance, let's just let me think here. I can see PHP, Suricata, System D. I can see MySQL. I can see OpenSSH. Yeah, I think OpenSSH sounds good to me. Let's just try to navigate into OpenSSH. CD. Let's consider LSP first. Here, for example, there is init functions file. So let's just cat it. And here you can see there is some type of stuff in it. But let's just leave it for now. This is basically used to log messages such as regarding the system services. So what did I say? Kernel. I think there's going to be install conf. There is inside the kernel. There is install conf and install d. And let's now just go and see the OpenSSH. Here you can see the SSH libraries such as the authentication sessions and everything. So let's just move to the next one, which is USR. These are mostly user installed files. So this is where the brain of your softwares live. Whenever you install something, whenever you try to put something, a program, a subsystem, a function, it goes inside your USR file system directory. These are also the user-facing structure of your system also lives inside the USR. So, for example, bin is a very famous and a very recognized, or you can say that one of the main basic directory, the file system directory inside your Linux file systems. So let's just go into bin and see. Here you can see there is every type of command which we use. Python 3 is here, pwd is here, whoami is here, apt is going to be here. So all of these are commands and they're in binaries. So even if I try to open some of them, I'm going to get a system crash, or if it tries to open it, I'm not going to be able to read it. So let's just execute a command, whoami, for example. So all of these are just commands, and these are the logic where your command lives. Every time you run a command, it pulls the logic from here, the binary logic. As you know, the computer works in binary. So that was bin inside USR, the binary. Let's try to see maybe ls. What do we have here? Okay, I repeated the command, sorry. Yeah, I think we are good. We will just so bin, the other ones are similar stuff. So TMP means temporary. And in this directory, we have temporary stuff, those type of files, or you can say cache folders, which are created every time we are running the system. And when we restart the system, they are just wiped out. They are temporary sessions in simple words. So there's not going to be anything important here, but let's just, for the sake of the video, navigate into it and see. CD TMP. Oh, sorry, what I'm doing is /TMP list. So there are two strange files. One is service, one is log. Both of them are services of permission denied. Yeah, we can sudo it and see it, but there's nothing necessary or understandable to see in it. We are not going to get something useful. Anyways, that's it. I hope you liked the video. Please leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. And I will try to make the next videos more slowly so I can explain that stuff in more detail. Thank you.